Hello, friends. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about the 10 worst foods that are wrecking your cholesterol levels without you even realizing it. Some foods hurt your heart slowly. You don't feel it right away. There's no pain, no warning. But inside your arteries, damage builds quietly. That's how high cholesterol often develops. And the most dangerous part? It's not just fried food or red meat doing the harm. Some of the worst cholesterol-raising foods are the ones people eat every day without knowing they're a problem. In this video, you'll learn about 10 common foods that are slowly working against your heart. The ones that don't look harmful, but actually are. 1. Packaged muffins and pastries. They look innocent enough, small, convenient, sometimes even labeled as wholesome. However, most store-bought muffins and pastries are loaded with ingredients that directly raise LDL cholesterol. Butter, margarine, shortening, and palm oil are all common. These fats are dense in saturated fat, which pushes your bad cholesterol levels up over time. And then there's the sugar. Even though sugar doesn't contain cholesterol itself, it causes a spike in triglycerides and leads to insulin resistance. That combination affects how your body handles fats altogether. Most people treat these baked goods as a snack or even breakfast. But if you're eating them often, they could quietly be pushing your cholesterol numbers in the wrong direction. A homemade muffin made with oats, banana, and olive oil is a much better choice. 2. Flavored coffee creamers. Creamers make your coffee taste smoother. But many of the flavored ones contain more fat than you'd expect, especially the ones labeled non-dairy. These products are often made with hydrogenated oils, which can contain small amounts of trans fat. Even when trans fat isn't listed, some saturated fats from palm or coconut oil can still raise LDL cholesterol. 1 or 2 tablespoons a day might not seem like much. But for people who drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee, the fat adds up. Sweetened creamers also contain added sugars, which increase your triglycerides. All of this becomes a daily pattern, a small habit that silently works against your heart over the months and years. Switching to a splash of unsweetened almond milk or low-fat milk is a smarter move. 3. Instant noodles. They're cheap, fast, tasty, and widely popular. But 1 pack of instant noodles can be a cholesterol trap. The noodles are often flash-fried before packaging, which means they carry hidden fats. And the seasoning packet? That's where the real trouble begins. It contains extremely high levels of sodium, often more than half your daily limit in one sitting. Excess salt doesn't raise cholesterol directly, but it increases blood pressure and damages blood vessel walls. Combined with the fat in the noodles and preservatives, this quick meal becomes a long-term risk. Eating it once in a while won't ruin your health, but relying on it as a regular lunch or late-night snack adds strain to your heart without you realizing it. 4. Frozen pizza. A slice of frozen pizza may not look dangerous, but it combines several harmful ingredients at once. Processed cheese, high-fat meats, refined flour crust, and sugary sauces all pile on. Many frozen pizzas contain added oils in the dough, and the cheese is often high in saturated fat. Pepperoni and sausage toppings make things worse by adding sodium and preservatives. The problem gets bigger when one person eats 3 or 4 slices. That turns into half or even more of the daily recommended limit for saturated fat and sodium. The result is gradual cholesterol buildup. A better option is making your own at home using a whole grain base, low-fat cheese, and plenty of vegetables. 5. Fried chicken. There's something about crispy chicken that's hard to resist, but it's also one of the worst meals for cholesterol. Deep frying adds a layer of saturated and sometimes even reused oils that clog arteries. The breading adds extra carbs, often made from refined flour. Then you've got the skin, which holds onto grease and salt. Altogether, this creates a high-fat, high-sodium dish that promotes LDL cholesterol while offering little nutrition. Some fast food versions of fried chicken have more saturated fat in one piece than a full day's limit. Baking or air frying skinless chicken with herbs and olive oil gives you the flavor without the risk. 6. Flavored yogurt with added fruit. Yogurt by itself is a healthy food, but once you add fruit syrup, sweeteners, and flavorings, it changes entirely. These types of yogurt often contain high fructose corn syrup or added sugar. That drives up triglyceride levels and causes insulin resistance. Some versions even have added cream or stabilizers that increase the fat content. A single serving might contain over 20 grams of sugar, along with a few grams of saturated fat. This sweetened version can no longer be considered heart-friendly. If you're eating it daily, thinking it's a smart snack, it could be quietly affecting your cholesterol. Stick with plain Greek yogurt and mix in real berries for natural sweetness and fiber. 7. Commercial milkshakes. It's easy to think of a milkshake as a treat, but many of the fast food versions are cholesterol bombs. A large-sized shake can contain more than 30 grams of saturated fat and over 60 grams of sugar. That's more than what your body should handle in a whole day. The combination of high-fat ice cream, whole milk, sugary syrups, and whipped cream is extremely dense. All of it raises LDL cholesterol while suppressing the good HDL cholesterol. Even a medium-sized milkshake is far more damaging than it seems. A homemade smoothie using banana, unsweetened almond milk, and a spoonful of cocoa can be a great alternative if you're craving something cold and sweet. 8. Packaged biscuits and cheese crackers. Most people grab these snacks without reading the label. But take a closer look, and you'll find ingredients like palm oil, butter, or shortening. These are sources of saturated fat and sometimes even hidden trans fats. One small pack can deliver a surprising amount of fat and sodium. And because they're crunchy and convenient, it's easy to eat more than intended. The damage happens gradually. Each snack might seem small, but together, they add to a cholesterol problem that builds over time. Swapping these for plain whole grain crackers or roasted nuts gives you a crunch without the cost to your arteries. 9. Processed meats. Hot dogs, sausages, salami, and bacon are some of the worst offenders when it comes to cholesterol health. They contain saturated fats, added nitrates, and extremely high amounts of sodium. These ingredients not only raise LDL cholesterol, but also contribute to inflammation in your blood vessels. That inflammation makes existing cholesterol more dangerous because it makes the arterial walls easier to damage. The preservatives and additives used in processing meat also interfere with how your body handles fat. Switching to grilled chicken, turkey breast, or plant-based protein options is a much better long-term strategy. 10. Buttered movie theater popcorn. Popcorn in itself is not a problem, but what gets added to it at the movies turns it into a cholesterol-raising snack. The butter topping is usually not real butter. It's often a synthetic oil blend high in saturated fat. The salt is heavy, and the portion size is massive. One large popcorn tub with extra butter can contain more saturated fat than a fast food meal. And because it's seen as a casual snack, people eat it by the handful without noticing how much they've consumed. If you want popcorn, air popping your own at home and adding a touch of olive oil or herbs is a better way to enjoy it without harming your heart. In conclusion, most of these foods don't seem harmful at first glance. But once you understand how they affect your body, the picture becomes clear. Your cholesterol responds to what you eat every day, not just once in a while. Making small changes adds up fast. If you want to protect your heart, start by replacing these foods with smarter choices. For more tips like this, subscribe to VisitJoy and watch our next video on early warning signs of high cholesterol.